Hello, YouTube, and welcome back to Brewing with Magic. Well, I was cruising around on the Twitterverse and I saw an amazing best of three deck that just came around. I don't know 100% who built it originally, but it's a really neat brew. It's called Mardu Plow because one of the main cards in the deck is the Colossus Plow. We'll go over it in just a second, what it does. I'm calling the deck Snow Plow because I live in Texas. It's on a Tuesday that I'm recording this in between rolling blackouts. It's below freezing, 6 inches of snow in Texas, right side of Austin. This is not normal. So I added a couple of snow plains, snow swamps, and snow mountains to the deck just so that I could call it Snow Plow because it's so cold. There is no snow in the deck. But let's go over it real quick before I get into the gameplay. First off, we have our companion. We have Jenktha, the Wellspring. Then we have 4 copies of Giant Killer, 2 copies of Bloodchief Thirst. We have 4 copies of Colossus Plow. It is a 2-drop 6/3 vehicle. Whenever Colossal Plow attacks, add 3 white and you gain 3 life. Until end of turn, you do not lose that mana as steps and phases end. And it crews for 6. It's a lot to crew, but we'll get into that in a second. You'll kind of see it as I explain the deck. Then we have 4 copies of Valki, God of Lies, and or Tybalt, Cosmic Imposter. The front side, 1 black, 1 colorless for 2/1 legendary creature god. When Valki enters the battlefield, each opponent reveals their hand. For each opponent, exile a creature card that was revealed this way until Valki leaves the battlefield. Then you can pay X, choose a creature card, exiled with Valki. With converted mana cost of X, Valki becomes a copy of that card. So a lot of cards that you could rip out of their hands that could be really useful, slow them down, mess with their game plan, and you get to see information like what they're using in their hand. Then the other side is 1 red, 1 black, 5 colorless for a legendary planeswalker. When it enters the battlefield, you get an emblem immediately that says you may play cards exiled with Tybalt, Cosmic Imposter, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast those spells. So once you've used this ability in any fashion, you're always going to be able to cast those spells later, even if they remove the card. +2, exile the top card of each player's library. -3, exile target artifact or creature. -8, exile all cards from all graveyards. Add 3 red. Then we have 4 copies of Kroxa. We have 1 Redain, God of the Worthy. The backside, we don't really need to worry about as much, but if you do use it, it's 1 white, 3 colorless. It's an artifact. If a source an opponent controls would deal damage to a permanent you control, prevent 1 of that damage. And whenever you or another permanent you control becomes the target of a spell or ability opponent controls, counter that spell or ability unless they pay 1. But the front side is more what we want to stop board wipes and things like that, because it not stops them, but at least slows them down. 1 white, 2 colorless for a 2/3 legendary creature god, Flying Vigilance. Snowlands your opponent control enter the battlefield tap. Not a bad little thing there. But the main part we really are looking for is non-creature spells your opponent cast with converted mana cost of 4 or greater, cost 2 more. So that can really be nice at times. Only 1 in the deck, really don't need more. If you hit it, amazing. We have 4 copies of Egon, God of Death. Really early game, especially if you have 2 in your hand. Throw the throne down for 1 black and start filling up your graveyard. Sometimes you'll even draw a card with it, but the front side is amazing. 1 black, 2 colorless for a Death Touch, 6/6. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile 2 cards from your graveyard. If you can't, sacrifice Egon and draw a card. You have 2 copies of Elspeth's Nightmare. We have 3 copies of Temeric Calls the Dead. 4 copies of Bone Crusher Giant. And then one of the best cards in the new set, we have 4 copies of Showdown of the Skalds. First, exile the top 4 cards of your library until end of your next turn. You may play those cards, and then trigger 2 and 3. Whenever you cast a spell this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Just really good advantage, card draw, bumping up your creatures, really nice. Then, like I said, we don't really need the Snowland at all. It's in there for the theme of the deck, but we have 1 snow-covered plains, 2 snow-covered swamps, 1 snow-covered mountain. We have 4 of the black-white pathway. We have 1 of the black-white temple, 4 of the red-black pathway, 4 of the white-red pathway, 1 of the red-white temple. We have 4 of the red-black-white, which is our colors, triomes, and we have 2 fabled passages to go search for basic lands. So those are the cards in the deck. Now, what are we trying to do with it? Well, basically, we want to use Giant Killer and Bloodchief Thirst as our removals in the deck. Almost always, Bloodchief Thirst is only a removal, but what I mean by that is the Giant Killer, you don't always want to throw that as the 1 drop right away to tap creatures. If you can afford to, kick back and just try to use the instant chop down first and get some card advantage with that. But what we're really trying to do with this deck is lie down a really quick turn 2 Colossus Plow. Then we want to go into a turn 3 either Egon or Kroxa. Now, both of those fire up the Plow immediately. If you throw Kroxa and it's not escaped, remember to go into full control mode. If you don't go into full control mode, the game's just not going to let you have that phase where when Kroxa's on the board for that split second, you get to power up the colossal Plow. So on turn 3, you either throw down the Egon or the Kroxa, you fire up the colossal Plow immediately, and you swing and attack. Now, one really neat thing is, say that you have a third land you put into play untapped that turn, and it was white. So you have a black, a red, and a white. You throw the Kroxa, you fire up the Plow, and then you would swing with the Plow. It would have to be red. Okay. So one nice interaction is that if you, on turn 3, are able to throw the Kroxa, and you have one red, one black for the Kroxa, plus an additional red, what you can do is you can throw the Kroxa in full control, fire up the colossal Plow, swing in with it. You're going to get 4 white mana. Use the 1 red that you didn't use plus the 4 white and show down the skulls. Now, I mean, there's a lot of things you have to have in your hand and a lot of things that have to line up for that to happen, but it's just really, really good when it does. Also on turn 3, you can throw the Egon, God of Death, and then once again, you fire up the colossal Plow. So even if the nice part about the Egon is even if you don't have 2 cards in your graveyard for the next turn, or if they remove him right away, you get to draw a card. So you're going to be firing up the colossal Plow, and then immediately, if they get rid of it, you get to draw a card, swing in for 6, get 3 white mana. Another thing you can do with that 3 white anytime, if you don't have anything else you can do with it, is you just bring your companion right into your hand. So those are the synergies to the deck, how it kind of runs, what it does. Once you've done all of that, the Showdown just refills your hand and just starts going all again. You know, the Timorets are just to fill your graveyard. 2/2s are to slow down your opponent. Elspeth's Nightmare, slow down your opponent, see what's in their hand, and against anything that wants their own graveyard eliminates it. So it really has a lot that it can do, packaged into just a couple of cards, and it's really fun to play. Let me show you what I mean by that real quick. But if you'll do us a favor, it's completely free. Hit that subscribe button. It means a whole lot to us over here. Let's build a community. Once I have enough people subscribed, like I said, I do plan on starting a Discord, and we'll have a lot of fun together building decks and helping each other out. Also, give the video a like, and remember to stay to the very end and watch the summary. Thank you. Let's get into it. Big loss, 67. Big loss, maybe? Okay, opponent goes first. We have decent amount of lands. We have early removal. Well, if they're big, Egon, Tiamat calls the dead, so this kind of helps fill this a little. Showdown the Skulls. I think this is a keeper. Our opponent is not showing any information, so we will lead out with the Temple since it comes into play tapped, and we don't need to do anything else anyways. So black, okay. We want one more land, so we'll leave that on top. So black, white, snow is what they are showing us. So let's see, are they control? Are they creature-based, mid-range? Probably more control, because there's the Triome. Which doesn't mean a whole lot, but makes me curious. So this turn, there's nothing we need to throw out per se. So I think we just throw the planes out, and then we pass the turn. I want to save that as removal, and then we can throw it later. Gonna take the control side of the deck right now, since we don't have any plows or anything real big. Okay, so now there's a green snow, so they're probably gonna have Jorn in the deck. Pass again. Okay. So we have the Triome, but let's start getting aggressive with the Timoret Call the dead. So we'll put what do we ever need double of anything? No. So we don't have any blackout. So let's put this out on black. Let's do the Timoret Calls the dead. That holds up something on the opponent's turn. So if they have counter spells, I mean, I don't think one blue unless they have the correct counter spell. So let's do this. Valky here, get a 2/2 zombie. We're on the board. Now we have two cards in the graveyard. Even next turn, if we do get another zombie, we'll have 4 cards. That'll leave the Egon alive for 2 turns. So maybe the Egon, and then we can follow that up with like Showdown. So our opponent has to do something here. Maybe put some pressure on us. Reclaim the Waste. Kicker. Search your library for basic land cards. Reveal them. Put them in your hand. So they're ramping. So it's time for us to get going and go fast. So that means that we're going to throw the Egon next turn, as well as probably the Giant Killer as a singleton, have a bunch of creatures on the board, and then Showdown of the Skulls and try to beat them down fast. Oh, that helps a lot. So that kind of changes our game plan right there. So let's ditch this Elspeth's Nightmare. I mean, we can't get the Kroxa out. We couldn't get the Kroxa out even with that, because that was our 5th one. So this turn, let's throw the... oh, wait. I want to do all my... let's see. Do I want to do 2 things? No. So we can put the Triome out tapped. We're going to throw the Giant Killer out now in this situation like that. We're going to throw the Plow out. And then we're going to swing in. Boom! For 2. So we're just trying to get real aggressive here. Our opponent's going to try to do something crazy because they want a bunch of mana. They could have their own Valky. They could try to go to Ugin. Elspeth's Nightmare is going to take out probably the Giant Killer. No? Okay. So they're not a heavy creature deck. And a Glass Casket. That takes care of the Giant Killer. Okay. We don't need a second Showdown of the Skalds at the moment, I don't think. Maybe that's a bad decision, but definitely going to toss that. We have 5 cards in our graveyard. I need another one so that we can cast this. Don't know what they're doing, but if they're throwing big cards, this really slows them down. And we don't have anything... yeah, so let's throw... that is not... I gotta... So now they are... So they're going to take our Showdown of the Skalds. That would be my guess. Take the Showdown. Next turn, we'll Egon with the Plow. Well, now we could Kroxa with the Plow. But if we Egon, we could throw the other Plow out. And then next turn we could Kroxa, power them both up. Let's see. We'll see what our opponent does. What do you do here? Other creatures you control get +1/+1. Whenever land enters the battlefield on your controller, create a 1/1 white human warrior creature token. Okay. Oh, there's the Valky, the liar, if you will. So if we throw Egon, Kroxa doesn't come out. If we throw Kroxa, Egon's gonna get wiped out. So I think I throw Kroxa. Who cares? But if Egon gets wiped out, we'll throw it next turn. We can still man the Plow with the Egon. Yeah, so that's the play. So we'll get rid of 5 other cards. Submit 5. They have to discard a card. And we will power this up with the Kroxa. And we'll swing in with the 6/3 Plow. We gain 3 life. We gain 3 white. Smack him for 3. Bring this to our hand. End the turn. Next turn we could attack. Well, unless they do a removal, which is possible, we'll do the Kroxa and the Egon. The Egon will power up the Colossus. They're probably going to try to remove this. They need to pay the 1 to do that. They choose... there is no reason, right? So why do it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, Yasharn. There we go. So they're gonna grab 2 lands, drop them all down, maybe play another, or drop one of them, maybe play another creature. Okay. And get the land down, creating the 1/1, which gets to be a 2/2 because of this guy. Well, that was nice. That was a very nice draw. So, I think what we do... it's black, right? Yeah, we're gonna... oops, whoa. We're gonna throw Egon. I really don't care about that. That one's... yeah, so we're going to... Bloodchief Thirst. A token. We're going to fire up this with the Egon. And we are going to swing in with everything. That triggers the Colossal Plow, giving us 3. So if they don't, I think they need an instant speed removal card here. I mean, they can block the Kroxa. They can block this. So that's, yeah, I was gonna say that should block that. Yeah, okay. So they're gonna block the 2/2 with the 2/3, kill that. Block the 6/3 Plow with the Yasharn. Take out the Plow. Take 6 from the Kroxa. And then we'll use that 3 mana. Oh, we're still in combat phase. We'll use that to throw another Plow. They're cycling. They're down to 1, so they have to find something crazy here. They hit a black, so they could, what, Blood on the Snow? Blood on the Snow would do it. I think we'll have enough we'll be close to having enough cards to return Kroxa to the battlefield. We have the Colossus still. And then we also have these cards. So we're not doing bad if they have a Blood on the Snow. They get their creature from the land, from the Maja. They've got something spicy in their hand, or I think they would have already quit. Okay, they're returning a card. Okay. Oh, an Elspeth's Nightmare. Nice. I mean, it just takes out a token. And they got to pay the 1 more again because of the Protector's Shield. And I think this is close to being game. We'll sacrifice those 2. Okay, we'll play the land, scry, see what it is. It's another land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that'll be our 7th land, so we'll keep it. I don't think we need it because I can throw the Valky right now this turn. So we're gonna. I want this to attack because it does its thing. So we'll fire up the Colossus with the Egon. Boom, and then we'll swing with everything. I don't think they could. I mean, they have to double block. Ditch a card. As soon as I throw the Valky, I think we're going to get a concede because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can definitely throw that. Okay, we get a bunch of hammers. We'll throw down the Tybalt, Cosmic Imposter. We will go ahead and plus it. Ooh, it gives us a snake, a snow-filled sinkhole. So we got some lands out of that. Opponent can look at our hand. They have to pay 1, but why would they? Because they can't take that anyways. Oh, so they can see the hand even. They have to. That's nice. Path to the World Tree. So this game's over. Good game. Big loss. Big loss. Okay, we get to draw a card. Okay, there it is. Good game. Good game. Oh, here we go. We have Mana. So we have 2 giant killers, a Plow, Egon, which Egon kind of works. But they go first. And we have these 2 lands and a Fabled, huh? Mulligan this. We'll keep it. It's very awkward. Ship a Plow. I mean, awkward. We have 2 comes into play tap lands. We'll have to make this one red. Bring this one as black. Hopefully we draw an untapped land. Opponent doesn't show anything, so we don't know exactly what we're dealing with. So we'll throw the Fabled Passage out as we planned. End the turn. This will be red. This will be black-white. Okay, opponent has now got black and blue out. Not showing us much. Probably a rogue deck. Because rogues are fun. Okay, now we have white-black showing here and white-black here. If I throw this turn, yeah, so we definitely want to try to do the Colossal Plow. So we'll throw this out on black now. We'll throw the Colossal Plow. The opponent can't counter it with a Drown in the Loch. And they're going to have Soaring Thought Thief. Very fun. Very, very fun. Okay, they attack. Melis. There you go. Boom. Swing bada. Yeah, so we'll throw out the Temple of Silence. Get ourselves a little scry. Okay, it's a Valky. I don't think that's what we need. Kind of looking for land. And then we'll Kroxa. Make sure we're in full control. They're going to counter this, but that's fine. That's probably getting counter, but we're going to whittle their hand down. So we've got to do it slowly but surely. Didn't say please. Thank you. That definitely is going to put some cards in our graveyard. Next. Well. Let's see how many more counters they have got for us. There's another Soaring Thought Thief. They want us milled. So Egon can stay out there for quite a while. There's another Plow. Let's throw the Egon. If they block this, that's good. We got rid of one of those. If they don't, then next turn we'll Soaring Thought Thief it. Swing in with the Egon. I mean, their plans might differ from ours. They might just destroy the Plow right now, which leaves us the Egon. Heartless Act. Okay. They still let me power up the Plow. There's the 3 white. So that kills that. And then we'll throw this out as a little... Oh, let's get out of combat. Let's go to second main phase. We're going to throw this out as a little itty-bitty guy so it can tap stuff down. We're going to throw the other Colossus Plow out so next turn it can do some work. Opponent's down to 3 cards in hand. Hopefully they don't have Into the Story. Of course, they're rogues, so they have Into the Story. That's just how that is. Yep, they attack. Mill us a few more. We need a land that's red so we can Kroxa. Oh, it is the Thief. So if they take our Kroxa, I think it just disappears. I don't think it does what they would like, so it's probably the Bone Crusher. Well, nobody plays this card anymore, so you don't expect to see it. Opponent, take what you like in here. What do you want? What do you want? The Valky, huh? Interesting. Interesting. They don't get to do anything with it. So this kills Valky, but this locks the Trickster down. And I've got to lock the Trickster down. So we will Bloodsheath Thirst. This. No land again. This deck just... Are you kidding me? No attacks. End the turn. Ah! All land from our opponent. End of the story has happened. Hey, look, there's another red. We'll throw out the Kroxa because it eliminates a bunch of cards in their graveyard. It powers up the Colossal Plow. This isn't flying, so we can block it with that unless they have removal, which they have a boatload now. Okay, fire that up. This won't be able to tap this down, but it will be able to block, so we only want to attack with the one. They might want to hold that back. Now we'll bring that into our hand since we had 3 white just sitting there. Okay, they're going to bring in their Soaring Thought Thief, maybe? I don't know why. Just to mill 2 more cards? I think they should wait till end of turn. They're going to attack. We can't let them hit anything else again, so... They'll just take something great. We have too many things in there right now. Oh, okay. Showdown of the Skalds. They're not going to let this happen. So let's attack first. Next. See if they let us keep our Kroxa. They let the trigger happen. That's awkward. They don't want to let us showdown, probably. I mean, if they know what we're playing. Now, by doing this, they are going to get another card. There's the Drown in the Loch. Well, we could still be in trouble now. They still have to discard a card because they allowed it to attack. Let's at least draw a bunch of cards. Draw. Okay, the Soaring Thought Thief. Okay, let's throw the Triumph. Pass the turn. So the Elspeth's Nightmare. Take this out. Still don't have any way to take out the Thief. Yep, they mill 2. They get to pick a card. Just in a tough position. I mean, I think the best thing is the Bone Crusher, maybe? The Egon, maybe? Sure. Okay, they take the Kroxa. Okay, I'll get rid of the Jenga. We'll get rid of that. And then they lose it, and we get it right back. So, that happened. Another showdown. Okay. So, we definitely want to Elspeth's Nightmare that. But let's see if we can get away with the Egon first. See if they have a counter spell. No, they don't, so they might have a removal. So we throw this land out. And we... I mean, I'd love to Valky. Wonder what's in their hand. But this guarantees to get rid of that creature. Now they either have to counter this. Yeah. I'm thinking they have removal for this, but they might be low on cards. So now we can block this thing. Let's... No. Cancel. I don't want to let them have another card. So we'll pass. This is a blocker. If they had if they have a removal, then that sucks. Because that sucks. But that would have all... Oh, Brazen Borrower. I don't think this does anything, but it's fun. Resolves. One of their last cards is a Borrower, eh? And then they get to throw the Borrower. They can't block with it now. So now, if they attack us with everything, depending on what they take, we can kill them, but maybe not. I don't know. I don't know, man. We'll see. This is gonna hurt. Just because I get to pick. I mean, now they can take a lot. Yeah, I shouldn't. Maybe I should have discarded the Timorol. That way they could. Well, they could have taken that though. So now they're gonna take our this. Yeah, probably take the Wellspring. Yeah, watch Wellspring. There it is. Okay, so we'll get rid of their Bloodsheath Thirst. What do I do here? If I throw the Egon, into the other... I just die here. Trying to figure out the best way to do this for the turn. Oh, wait. No. Throw a Kroxa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Submit 5. I throw the Kroxa. Now I can block this. No, I'll still die, huh? Oh, wait, but... Damn, does this not have trample? Oh, but I gain 3 life. And they'll have to block. Yeah, hold on. Submit the Kroxa. Attack. They have to attack with this. Okay, I have 3 open, and I'm showing a black, a white. If I throw the Egon, I have a blocker. Oops. Yeah, now I have a... Okay, get out of combat, please. So I throw the Egon, and I'll have a blocker for this. And if they kill it, I get to draw. I still have 2 left, but there's nothing to do at 2 mana, so... Yeah, we'll end the turn. Whoo! This is interesting. What did they draw? Land. That's good for us. Okay, swing in for 3. Woo! That was a tough one to come back from. So, good game. Whew. Okay, and we are back. Well, this deck is an absolute blast to play. Whoever thought of this deck, you are a brewing genius. I love it. It's so much fun to play. I bet you it's really exciting to play on the best of 3 version. There's a bunch of 1-ofs that I pulled out of the deck that you probably side out, and it just makes the deck probably a lot more resilient in game 2 and 3. But for best of 1, we have to do what we have to do to make the deck work. It's a different meta out there than best of 3. I don't know exactly how it would change it because it was running so smooth. I almost never ran the Jenktha out. It just seemed to be more of a card that just gave them information I would rather my opponent not know out at the beginning of the game. I know it's only for a turn or 2 before they probably figure out what we're doing, especially once they see the colossal Plow. They know we're not a normal Kroxa or a sacrifice deck in any way. We have another game plan going, but I just don't think that that commander does enough for the deck, even late game, other than a 5/5 creature to really help you out. So, like I said, it's just more information for the opponent than I think that they needed. And the other thing I was thinking about it doing is maybe, and just maybe, I'd have to run it, test it first, is taking out 1 Showdown of the Skalds. But from there, I don't know what I would add. I need to think about it, talk to my brew crew over here and see what they think. I would either add in 1 more Bloodchief Thirst or 1 more Redain God of the Worthy off the top of my head, but that might not be the right decision, so not sure. If you do decide to play this deck, let me know if you made any changes down in the comments. I'd like to know what you did or what you thought or what the deck lacked or what I missed. Maybe the deck had a whole interaction I didn't see. So if you do play the deck, or if you don't, you just like the content, it's completely free. Please hit that subscribe button. It means a whole lot to us over here. Give the video a like. And as always, until next time, have a blast in the arena.